Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of Kit Conspiracy. Today I am pulling some inspiration from this layout from Be Valent at Coco Vanilla. She's on their design team. And my main inspiration is that vertical line of embellishments. So I am starting out with these 3 photos, but I am actually going to just cut it down to 2. Um, I decided not to go with the group photo. I'm gonna leave that for a different layout. I'm just gonna do the 2 photos that are close up of my niece and my daughter. And these are old photos still in that same series that I've been working with of the water park end of the year party. And my daughter is the one in the sweatshirt. My niece has a swimsuit on. You can't tell because her hair is covering her straps, I think. I'm going to use that rainbow paper to document this. I wasn't sure if I'd end up using this paper or not, but I decided to go ahead and go for it. And I am pulling out this tape that I got from a friend of mine at a retreat I went to. And so shout out to Cindy. Thank you so much for this tape. Obviously, it's coming in useful again. I've used it several times. It is basically black and white tape, and it has all kinds of patterns on it. And it's not really washi tape, it's more plasticky. It is the Ms. Sparkle brand, but I don't think you can find it at Joann's anymore. But I know that is a brand that they have carried. So I'm trying to decide exactly what direction I want this to go in. Um, I the inspiration piece had some layers of paper behind, and I'm foregoing that because we're not really supposed to be doing a direct scrap lift this week. We're just using that layout for inspiration. So I am going to use all of the embellishment area that had that vertical line, like I said. Um, but I want to kind of bring in a shelf, if you will, for these 2 photos to kind of hang on. Um, I like also the idea of the tape there where it comes to a point in the middle. That's kind of where it draws your eye to, and so that brings your focus really down to the photo of my daughter, which is, I mean, my niece is important to me as well, um, but my daughter is more of the focal point here, or just the 2 of them being together at this event. But so I'm liking the way that that is looking. I also like that it has those kind of lines in the background of the photo of my niece. It kind of has some crisscross black lines made with the shadows of the whatever was behind her. So it kind of mimics that too. I am going to back the whole thing with the glitter paper. I didn't think I would use this glitter paper, but I found that it works really well behind the other rainbow paper. Um, and I'm actually going to trim it down just a bit more and add a black paper in between just to make it pop even more. At least I think I add the black paper. You know what? Actually, I don't think I do. I think I just end up using my ink. Yep, I'm going to use my ink. I thought about using the black paper, but then I would have had to cut down the top paper even more, and I didn't really want to keep trimming it down a lot more because I wanted to make sure I had enough real estate for what I wanted to work with there. So I thought the ink would work just fine, and it really does the job of kind of making a little bit of a frame around the entire layout. So I kind of tried to put it on a little heavier handed than I normally do, just so that it really kind of pops. So I'm really liking the way that this is looking, and I'm going to glue down the background paper. Because it is going onto that glitter paper, I'm definitely using the liquid glue. So I'm using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. Again, that dries clear and it dries matte finish, so it holds really well and it dries relatively quickly. So if you have not used it and you are looking for a liquid glue, I highly recommend it. It also comes out very fine, so it works well for cut files if that is something that you are um, keep in your arsenal. So uh, just wanted to throw that out there. There will be links down below for it if that's something that of interest to you. So then I pull out the sticker sheet and I am going to start with the embellishing. I thought of doing it to the left of the photos, but then I realized, it's going to cover up all of that tape that I just put down, and so you're not really going to see much of that. And I didn't really want to do that because I really like the black over the rainbow. I just think it looks really cool. So I'm going to actually do it on the opposite side of the photos, and I end up really liking how it looks. So I'm going to pop them all over to the right hand side and work on just kind of layering them up and figuring out where I want things. And primarily working off the two sticker sheets. I don't really pull in a whole lot more. I think there's like one or two things that I fussy cut out of the other papers that I have from this collection. I know I want to pull out anything that's super summery, but I don't want necessarily beachy items or the bicycle because we're at a water park, and so a surfboard and the on the car and the bicycle don't really make a whole lot of sense. I'm okay with putting the shovel and pail on there. Those are things I guess you could take to a water park. I have no idea. Um, so anyway, I just thought that, all of these fun little items that make you think of like the pool or swimming work really well. So I do know that I want some items that have really um, softer lines than squares or straight lines. So I know like the circle and the cloud really help soften up the layout, given I have those really straight angles, or they're not really straight. The lines are straight, but the angles are not straight on the page of, of the tape. So I did find this piece of paper that has a frame, and inside the frame is a pair of flip-flops. So I am fussy cutting that out and tucking those in because I thought those are super cute. I sometimes have a little bit of trouble intermixing some photorealistic with more cartoon-like or um, illustrated type looks, but in this case, it kind of worked. Those flip-flops are more photorealistic than any of the other embellishments, but I didn't mind it, so I went ahead and used them. And it doesn't have the back of the flip-flops because those were hidden behind the frame on the paper, so I just tucked them in. And some of these elements I do want to pop up onto some foam tape, so I'm using just fun foam from Walmart, and I am popping up the little swimsuit, and I'm going to pop up the little pail. The red popsicle will be popped up just to give some added dimension to the layout, and I really like the way that it's looking. I think I'm also going to pop up that little heart that is inside the blue square, right? It's like the second piece down. I'm going to pop that little piece up as well. Just giving more dimension kind of helps the layout feel like it's not just flat. I mean, obviously, if you're giving dimension, it's not flat, but um, it just gives it that more height and more interest, so more depth. And I don't want things so thick that it's gonna really impact my album a lot. I do have some layouts that I don't mind doing that on, but I don't want all of my layouts to be that way. So just a little bit of fun foam really kind of helps um, keep it so that it is flexible and it is not so thick that it builds up in your layout and you can only, or in your album, you can only get like half of what you normally could get in there. So I did pull in some hearts. I am going to, let's see, did I pop those up onto some foam? I think I ended, yeah, I'm going to pop those up onto some foam as well, just to give those a little bit of boost as well. Um, and I'm liking the way that it's looking. So when I build this embellishment cluster, I always start with the biggest pieces. As you saw me lay those down, it was like the big cloud, the hello summer, and the wood grain um, with the camera. And then I start tucking in the smaller pieces. So you work from the largest to the smallest, and that really does help when you're trying to cluster up your embellishments. This little tiny heart needed just a tiny bit of foam. Those are such a different, those are so difficult to get the foam just right on there. The geotag had a pink heart on it already, but I added another one just to give it a little bit of uh, dimension. So I like the way that that's looking. And since this is a day that we are scheduled to go ahead and post a layout, MK will also have something based on the same inspiration piece. So don't forget to go and check out her channel. I'm sure she's going to have something awesome. I can't wait to see what it is. I'm really curious to see what portion of the layout she chose or that she was inspired by. So go give her a little bit of love as well. I'm going to add these two little phrase stickers just down at the bottom. I cut those out of that frame that you saw. Um, don't forget to look at your um, 3x4 cards and your 4x6 cards and your papers to cut apart stuff and use as embellishments, especially when you don't have a lot of embellishments for a particular collection. A lot of times those 3x4 cards are so valuable because they have smaller images on them. Or if you have the 6x6 paper pads, a lot of times you can find stuff in there as well because the images will be a lot smaller. So I'm just using my Muji pen in black ink to go ahead and write a little note down here at the bottom about our trip to the water park and um, hanging out for the day with their friends. So I am going to finish this off by just adding a little bit of white splatter, and I am using Dilution's white linen um, spray for that. Here are the close-ups. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe as well. Don't forget to go check out MK. I'm going to mention that again. Her link is down below, as are the links to any products that I might have used on this layout that are available. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys again very soon with another layout. I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.